بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال في قصة المرأة التي كانت تقوم المسجد قال: فسأل عنها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقالوا ماتت، فقال: أفلا كنتم آذنتموني؟ فكأنهم صبروا أمرها، فقال: دلوني على قبرها، فدلوه فصلى عليها. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated that there was a woman during the time of the Prophet ﷺ who used to clean the masjid. So one day she died, and they didn't want to wake up the Prophet ﷺ, so they buried her. And as if they felt it was not an important matter to wake up the Prophet ﷺ or to wait for him. So they just buried her. So the Prophet ﷺ missed her and asked about her. So they told him that she was dead and she was buried already. So the Prophet ﷺ said, "You should have informed me." So he said, "Take me to her grave." And then he prayed on her صلى الله عليه وسلم. وعند مسلم ثم قال: إن هذه القبور مملوءة ظلمة على أهلها، وإن الله ينورها لهم بصلاتي عليهم. So also in addition, in the collection of Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ said that these graves are full of darkness on its people, and Allah illuminates these graves by my prayers upon them. So this is an indication, number one, that it is okay for the woman to enter the masjid and clean the masjid. Yes. There's a hadith, by the way, that it was a man too, but this is narration by Bukhari and Muslim, and it seems like it could have been two different people. The second one, and which is the reason Ibn Hajar is citing this hadith, that it is okay for a person to pray upon the grave. If someone missed the janaza, so someone that happens, someone's dead and you missed their funeral, you can go ahead and pray upon, as if salatul janaza on the grave, and you make the grave between you and the qibla, and you pray on the grave. That is valid. And the scholars have different opinions for how long you can do that, or after how long you can do that. So the common opinion that it is 30 days, but there is truly not a text that limits it to 30 days. So some scholars said, and this is the tricky part, tricky technicality, that it is open so long the person who was praying on the grave was qualified to pray. What does that mean?
Grave has been broken.
That upon the time of death, when that person dies, the person who wants to pray on him, كان من أهل التكليف, was a person who is qualified to make the prayer, meaning reach the age of puberty. Meaning no one can say, okay, I'm going to go and pray on the grave of the Prophet ﷺ, because you were not min ahli taklif during the time of death. Does that make sense? Or my grandfather died before I was even born. I cannot go and make the prayer on his grave because I wasn't even born, so I have to be the age of taklif during the time of his death. But if someone's, let's say, father died and they travel for his funeral, and what happened, the father is already buried, you can go and pray on the grave. Is this clear? Salat Janazah, normal. And you make the grave يعني between you and the Qibla. طيب. وعن حذيفة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان ينهى عن النعي. So Hudayfa radiallahu anhu reports the Prophet ﷺ prohibited the announcement for a dead person the way the pagans used to do it. So they used to go on the markets and declare so and so is dead and recite poetry and praising that person. So this is the announcement that is prohibited, and alhamdulillah we don't have this anymore. But informing people of a dead person, that is okay. It is the announcement of Jahiliyyah that is prohibited.
Recently we send a group message. It is okay, right?
We're saying the Jahiliyyah announcement is what's prohibited. So alhamdulillah, what you're doing is okay. ما فيها شيء. ما فيها شيء. That نعي الجاهلية does not exist anymore, alhamdulillah. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نعى النجاشية في اليوم الذي مات فيه وخرج بهم إلى المصلى فصف بهم وكبر عليهم أربعة. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reports the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informed him, announced the death of Najashi. What was his name now? Yusuf. Do you know who the Najashi was? You don't know who the Najashi was. Next semester, inshallah. So the Najashi was Asbaha. He was the king of Ethiopia at that time, and he's the one who received the immigrants of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam.
ميم حاء ولا ميم عين؟
أصمح بالحاء. So the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam knew by wahi, by revelation about this same day. And so the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam told the companions that he has passed away. So they departed to the Musalla. And this is an indication that, as we mentioned before, the Prophet ﷺ had a musalla specifically for the funerals. So many people would gather. And he made the janazah prayer. So 4 takbirat. And this hadith is narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. So it shows that it is okay to inform people about the death of other person, so long it is consistent with the Sunnah and not the Jahiliyyah way. And the second one, which is the most important tip from the Hadith, what? Salatul Ghaib. So absentia prayers. Can someone pray upon another person when he's absent in a different country, in a different region or not? So, this hadith shows that it is valid, right? Without any specific يعني,
Conditions.
conditions, and that's what the Shafi'iyya said. It is okay. Some scholars said that only if the people of that region did not pray upon that person. So if you know, the person was not prayed upon, he was dead, drowned, or lost, or somewhere in a different country, you can pray upon them.
Becomes a must now. All
Right. Some people said that only if the person was of significance in Islam, was a leader, was a noble person, and just like in order to show his virtues, basically. And there is a subtle indication in that hadith. And some people said, some of the Ahnaf said there is no Salat al-Ghaib, period. So, Allahu A'lam, it appears that if the person was not preyed upon, this seems to be the strongest opinion, was not preyed upon in the region where he died, then you pray on them. Otherwise, because we get this question a lot, the people with the flood in Pakistan, can we pray upon them? Well, they're Hanafis, they don't acknowledge Salat al-Ghaib anyway. So why do you want to do it for them? So, if you know they prayed on them, then there is no reason to. More hadith.
I have a question here. When Prophet ﷺ prayed upon him, he was Muslim or non-Muslim?
He was a Muslim, right?
He was Muslim.
Otherwise, the Prophet would not have prayed for us. طيب. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال: سمعت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: ما من رجل مسلم يموت فيقوم على جنازته 40 رجلا لا يشركون بالله شيئا إلا شفعهم الله فيه. الحمد لله. So Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu had a son who passed away. So, and he kept waiting and asking his servant Qurayb. He would say, like, how many people have gathered? So Qurayb told him, they're over 40 now. So he said, okay, now we can pray. He said, so he was waiting. Why? Because he said, the Prophet ﷺ had said, whenever, and the Prophet said, Rajul, when the hadith says Rajul, it applies to men and women. It is not specifically for men. But this is what they say, خرج مخرج الغالب. So whenever a Muslim person dies, and 40 people who do not associate any partners with Allah pray upon them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him the shafa'ah, the intercession for that person, meaning would forgive him and would grant him his mercy and admit him to paradise. So that's why it is important to when there's a funeral, especially in towns where there is not many Muslims, everyone should do prayer, because this is the least you can do. This is حق المسلم, اتباع الجنازة. This is a duty for us. It is a right of the deceased person. So, and this is a very important practical aspect. If there are 40 people praying, then there is no problem how many saf, how many rows there are. Does that make sense? So there are, How about if there are less than 40 people? قالوا الشفاعة غير ممنوعة وغير مقنوعة. Meaning Allah may grant them the shafa'ah, but it's not guaranteed as it is when it's 40 people. So in Sunan Abu Dawud قال من صلى عليه 3 صفوف فقد أوجب. Meaning even if there are only 3 rows, pray upon that person. Meaning أوجب, meaning أوجب رحمة الله أو مغفرة الله, meaning Allah would grant him the maghfirah. So he said if there are not 40 people, then you make him 3 rows. And how many people should be in the row? How many people make a row? 2 people. So if you have 6 people, they make 2, 2, 2. That would make the 3 rows. So that's the practical aspect of that in order to grant the shafa'ah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a different hadith also, صلى عليه 4 من جيرانه الأدنين. Even only 4 people of his close neighbors pray upon them, Allah will grant him the shafa'ah. And he said, وثلاثة قال وثلاثة قال واثنين قال واثنين قال وسكت عن الواحد.
Allahu Akram.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. So this is, these are the practical rules and how to make the janazah.
Do we know specifically who died in this incident? When he asked Quraib to wait?
His son.
Oh, his son.
His son. في عسفان أو قديد, it was close to Mecca. So the Sahaba were أهل بلاء, subhanallah. Enough for the day, inshallah. Next week we'll continue with that. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.